Life lately feels very much about balancing it all. I have to just keep reminding myself it's not what I have to do, but what I get to do. This time with my family is such a gift, even during the overwhelming bits, and it sure is fulfilling, even though it's definitely not easy. So I've been leaning on some really quick but also still delicious meals to help me get it all done, and we finally got a little homemaking gardening project done that I'm just in love with. I hope you'll enjoy. Well, it's dinner time once again, and the other day I saw these grass-fed lamb chops on sale, so I went ahead and grabbed them, just put them in the freezer so I could find something to use them with. I didn't really have plans for them, but when something like that is good on sale, I always try to grab it and just freeze it. So today I'm gonna try to pan-sear them. I've never done this before. I don't have much experience cooking with lamb, but it's always really good at restaurants, so I'm hoping I can do it today. The only thing about ordering online is it's not quite enough. I would have ordered double if I knew it was a small. I'm gonna let them come to kind of almost like room temperature, not quite that. I'm gonna let them rest for about 30 minutes or so. I've already salt and peppered them, so that's easy. And the good thing about big things of meat like this, or the good thing about meat like this is it's always super delicious, pretty, quick to cook. So if you have the money, can be a really quick meal sometimes. I don't really know what I was planning. Usually I meal plan a little better, but I didn't. I was just kind of like, I want to cook that lamb today. I have a few potatoes. I wish I had more, but I'm going to make some smashed potatoes to go with it. We'll have some fresh bread that I just put in the oven, and I'm going to make a little side salad to go with it as well. Actually kind of special weekday meal. I don't always make meals this nice during the weekday. I think the trick to any red meat tasting really good is some butter and herbs at the end. So that's why it's gonna sear on both sides, and then cook it kind of a little bit slow in the butter and garlic. And I've got some thyme here left over, so I'll use that. Our rosemary outside's still looking a little sad, so I'm gonna wait on that. The potatoes will definitely take the longest, so get those going first. You always add potatoes to cold water and then bring them to a boil to help them cook more evenly. I think smaller potatoes work much better for this like smashed potato, as they smash a lot easier and evenly, but working with what I have. I always heavily season these with a lot of olive oil. Garlic and onion powder. Here I'm using some minced garlic. Fresh garlic, of course, is even better. And put a bunch of parmesan on top. Little pieces of butter too, sprinkled on the top is great as well. They roast for around 20-25 minutes while the bread comes out, and I make the salad dressing that I'm really making on repeat this spring. I really love it. It's about a tablespoon of champagne vinegar, stone ground mustard, and honey each, so it's super easy to remember. Then just add some salt and pepper to taste. The trick to making any vinaigrette really thick is to mix all the ingredients that you have except the olive oil, and then at the end just very slowly whisk in the olive oil. You can do this with sort of any vinegar-based dressing to make it nice and thick and stick to the lettuce a little bit better. Now I'm surprised. This lamb turned out so good. Almost as good as steak, I dare say, and super simple. You just put them in the cast iron, no oil, let it brown for a few minutes over like a medium high on both sides, just kind of depends on your stove. Then after they're browned on both sides, turn it down to low, add in the roughly chopped garlic, the butter, and any herbs for about 10 minutes. I loosely covered mine to prevent the splatter, and they cooked into this perfect medium. I don't like my meat very raw, so you can reduce it probably to more like 5 or 6 minutes if you want a medium rare. My thyme unfortunately looked a little moldy, so I decided not to throw it in, but sure, those aromatics would have made this even better. While that meat cooks, it gives me just enough time to throw together a salad. you know, just based off of what we have in our fridge. Feta would have been great in this and made it better, but I just love a dinner that's simple enough that it gives me a little time to also throw together a little salad for us adults. We don't always get this, but I really like eating it, and I try to serve it to my kids from time to time too, as I know the trick with any food is just to keep serving it to them, and one day they will try it and actually like it instead of spitting it out and saying yucky, you know? But more salad for me until then. Seriously, this lack of plan really turned into one of the best meals we've had this month, which is such a pleasant surprise. It doesn't always go so smooth, but I'm definitely going to buy more of this lamb when it goes on sale, and I see that next time. We cut a tree down this winter, and I've been thinking about building this little fort or like teepee the kids can use and that the pea plants can also climb up. It saves me from having to plant in the raised bed too. And thankfully my dad is in town to help. He just loves a little project even more than I do. And this one's super simple and really makes this kind of like empty corner of our very small backyard feel super cozy. I just want to find like maybe a little flag to go at the top and cut the big piece off, but we cannot wait to watch the plants climb up, 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 you know, see some bees and the kids running in and out. I just love a practical afternoon spent outside with everyone busy on their own little activity. It's so lovely. The kids had the most fun filling up their little pool for the first time, and those small giggles in the background really make my day. My pea sprouts didn't turn out very good. I don't know, I think they might have got too cold or something happened with them, so I just bought these at the farmer's market. And unfortunately, like, our ground is really clay, like it's so much clay there, so I'm planting these in some planters, and that also just makes it a little easier to keep the bugs out. But the only bad thing about planters is you have to water them a little bit more regularly. They, you know, tend to dry out very quick. I think all these plants here just make the yard so much more cozy, and I can't wait. One of our projects soon is going to be to put a back patio out here. I want to do that before it gets too hot. I recently made a one-skillet chicken sausage and orzo dish that was such a hit. I've been looking for something similar ever since when I found this taco skillet that might be even better. My kids don't really like or love Mexican food, unfortunately, because I really love it, but they had seconds of this, so I think it's going to be a regular from now on. The homemade taco sauce, I think it really is the key. It's super basic. It's just tomato sauce, sugar, water, lime juice, chili powder, cumin, salt and pepper, garlic powder, oregano, and cayenne. I already had all these spices on hand, so it cost nearly nothing. Plus, I'm able to go really easy on the chili powder, so my kids will like it and eat it. It just simmers away for about 10 minutes while I ground the beef and add in the veggies I was able to chop up right after lunch. I love a one-pot skillet, and this one really is if you don't make the taco sauce, but that's not too hard and easy to clean up. Pretty much I'm just gonna let these onions and peppers saute and cook, throw in a little bit of chicken broth and the orzo, taco seasoning, and a little bit of garlic too, actually, I've got. And that's pretty much it. You let it cook away for about 10 to 15, really more like 12 minutes until the orzo is cooked, and that's all you really need to do. I love doing something right after the lunch when the kids are full and happy to get ahead of dinner. I could have made the taco sauce, but I just chopped up the vegetables, and honestly, that's making this meal so simple. When we are trying to balance it all, it's so important to try to optimize any free time you have by preparing a little bit beforehand or in the morning and having meals like this that can fit into your schedule. I'm still putting a healthy, homemade meal on the table on a busy night, which honestly is a skill that I'm working hard to learn. In the past, I would have just ordered takeout, which is bad for us, and spent a fortune on it. It's so expensive now. It's just so essential to have at least 10 of these quick but really delicious homemade meals you can fall back on during busy days. I'm always trying to find more of them for you and for myself. Oh man, the weather can flux so much in spring. One day it's really nice and warm and sunny, and the next morning it's freezing with, runny noses. The boys had a bit too much time in the house today, and it's just one of those chaotic nights in the kitchen, managing what feels like a million needs. So really thankful for this super easy air fryer chicken parmesan meal with butter noodles. Butter noodles with a bit of parm is a very simple kind of like extra I lean on when I haven't really completely thought through a meal or have something that I really want but I'm not sure the kids will like. My kids absolutely love these, and it goes with just about anything, so just nice to have in your back pocket. I have been craving some chicken parmesan, and the air fryer actually did a really good job at keeping it super moist but still crispy. Almost, I might dare say, as good as frying chicken, but not quite. It's just a slightly healthier way, though, to get my kids to eat chicken. They're not huge when it's just grilled, but they are getting better the more ways I find to cook it. It gets a little bit messy in this air fryer, but I am impressed that it did such a good job because it's obviously not just made to be an air fryer. I'll link the recipe, of course, in the description, but I think it said around 5 minutes per side. I ended up having to go a bit longer on the last side, so next time I'm going to try to do it around 8 minutes per side next time. I guess it also depends on how much you pound the chicken out. And also, I feel like we could have used a little bit more marinara sauce on the side, so I'm going to warm that up separately as we just love sauce, and I didn't want it like spilling over the chicken and making a mess in the oven, so I went a little light. This chicken would also be so good with just like a simple romaine salad and make it even quicker, because boiling pasta sometimes does take about as long as anything, and I always try to pound the chicken beforehand as that really helps speed up this meal. Well, I hope you got a few new ideas to put on your menu next week that, just helps you get it all done as well. Thanks for watching, and remember to follow along for more. Take care.